we don't have anything else. We have also these two clues that are in common in argentum nitricum. Argentum nitricum is hot and is worse, better open air, worse heat. But we don't have anything else. When we come to the present situation of her mind has to do with insults, with difficult emotional state. It doesn't have to do with fixed ideas. And we have the information that these fixed ideas were much more strong in the past, and now they are not so strong. So there is a possibility that it was argentum nitricum in the past, but it's not now. I note it down and don't erase it, because in the end, if I decide that I will give, for example, natrum muriaticum, I have to have in mind possible other secondary remedies, constitutional pictures that may be revealed in the future. Silica. Silica is a very psoric person, usually a woman. It can suffer from colitis and from constipation, psoric constipation. It can have insomnia thinking about her problems. But silica is very cold and worse cold, very cold. Silica sweats a lot from the neck to the head, mostly. Silica has problem with milk also. It gets aversion milk and worse milk. Here we have worse milk, not aversion to milk. Silica. We don't have physical characteristics that have to do with silica, brittle nails, brittle lips, styes, and so on. And silica is not so psoric in this way. We've got mostly a natrum muriaticum personality and psychology. Silica is more is not like this. I will have it in mind, but it's not likely to be a silica case. Now we come to differentiate between natrum muriaticum and ignatia. We have to have in mind that ignatia is the acute natrum muriaticum. It is developed in a psoric person, especially natrum muriaticum persons, that have undergone a recent strong emotional state, have become disappointed, emotionally disappointed, or have a love disappointment from her companion, or a disappointment, an emotional disappointment from her children, and so on. We have this kind of event. She has a difficult emotional state, a trap that she can't get out, that she doesn't want to talk about it. This could mean an ignatia state, but then the way she's expressing and the thing that she talks about it, not putting it, not placing it as the first acute event makes us think that she may have been at the state of Ignatia for some weeks in the past, in the recent past, but now she is at the more chronic state of Natrum muriaticum. If I was convinced that she is now experiencing a very acute emotional state, I should prescribe Ignatia 1M or 10M. But my feeling that I get from her is that she is not at this state, or else she would put this thing first. She couldn't help it. She would, in a certain way, reveal it and put it as the first thing. And if she was Ignatia, there was much more possibility to talk about it. You see, Ignatia is also introvert, but since she is suffering and she is in an acute state, she talks about her problem much more than a Natrum muriaticum. Since she is more introvert at this state and less expressive, I say that we must prescribe Natrum muriaticum. Let's now see if each and every rubric refers to Natrum muriaticum. The whole picture, the miasmatic profile being psoric and submissive, a person, lead us to think of Natrum muriaticum as the first remedy, the first possible remedy, the simillimum. Now, seeing the whole, we must also take in consideration the parts, the rubrics. This is the place of the rubrics. This is the place of the repertorizing. But we don't need to do repertorizing to go and start referring to the repertory of Kent or any other repertory. Excuse me, I talk too much. So, let's see each and every rubric if it confirms or rejects Natrum muriaticum. We have a background that is complies, the background of this person, the personal data complies with Natrum muriaticum. Female, Natrum muriaticum is mostly a female person. Psoric body type, a body type that shows a person that is introvert and suffering and keeps all inside and submissive. That is Natrum muriaticum. A doctor that was submissive and cared about all others, and although a person that is idealistic, Natrum muriaticum and psoric persons are idealistic. They tend to adopt psoric ideologies to serve humanity, to help people, but they are honest about it. They are not pretending hypocrites like syphilitic people. Natrum muriaticum tends to adopt ideologies, psoric ideologies, that have to do with serving the humanity, the mankind, the society, her family, her husband, her children, her clients. It's not The Nat.m Muriaticum easily chooses to be a doctor in order to help people. We have the background of a person that is troubled in her life, divorced, had to raise 2 children, is now in a difficult emotional state, a trap that she can't get out, worries about the future and money, about her children, if they have jobs or not. To worry about your children when they are small children, it's a natural thing, it's not a characteristic. But to keep worrying about your children the rest of your whole life, it's either a very psoric characteristic for a person that offers to others, or a syphilitic characteristic of the person that is very overprotective and dictatorial and domineering on other people. The whole picture and the essence and the miasmatic profile confirms that it's not syphilitic. So, the story of her life is the story of the submissive psoric person. Did not choose the homeopathy that she wanted. Although she is now 59 years old, she sits on the desk of the student, becoming a student, to learn homeopathy, to use it for her own pleasure, not for money or for fame. She is a very good student, a very diligent student, a very caring mother. She is in a relation that she feels as if being in a trap. What is this kind of trap? Nat.m Muriaticum, being idealistic and very giving person, gets very emotionally attached to her companion, to her husband, to her affair. And many times, although the other person doesn't deserve it, or is a syphilitic person that takes advantage of her, that manipulates her, that uses her, that exploitates her, she can't get out of this relation easily. That's why Nat.m Muriaticum people, women especially, easily get hurt. And love disappointment is a very common thing for Nat.m Muriaticum, because she is psoric, easily believing to others, giving herself, offering herself, being exploited, keeps it inside, and tries to be the good person. And she gets in traps, in emotional traps. This complies with Nat.m Muriaticum a lot. A syphilitic person involved in relation problems would accuse her affair, her husband, would accuse him, would say that it's not my fault, I found a very cruel man, he's very cruel, he's this, he's that. She didn't say anything about it. She kept it inside, Nat.m Muriaticum. In fact, she didn't talk about it. In fact, she avoided talking about it even when I asked her. That is in favor, very much in favor of Nat.m Muriaticum. Other things. Insomnia of this psoric type. She wakes up thinking about what happens and what will happen. Nat.m Muriaticum thinks mostly if she was right, if she was good, if she was moral, if she did things good, and this doesn't let her sleep. It's a moral discussion with herself about if she was right or if she has neglected doing the proper thing. Where's stress? Nat.m muriaticum. Where's milk? Nat.m muriaticum. Irritable 2-3, but doesn't express it. Aversion indiscretion, Nat.m muriaticum. Aversion rudeness, Nat.m muriaticum. Aversion dictatorial and strong-headed behavior. Aversion unreliability, Nat.m muriaticum. They don't recognize my offer, the story of any psoric person. Because it's not a person that projects what he does and what he gives and what he offers. And when he is involved with syphilitic person, and this is the story of the life of any psoric submissive person, he is used and dominated by syphilitic people. So the story of her life and her complaints are that others exploit her or don't recognize her offer, or when they consider her as grounded, when she is exploited. Injustice, the same scenario of being exploited. When she is at work, where she is a doctor and she has the upper hand, she may do something about injustice, but not much. And this is confirmed from the expression of her anger, or how she reacts when she is insulted herself. It's a psoric way of reaction. Well, stupidity. She doesn't like stupidity. If this was a strong remark, we could think of a very vain person like Platina, Valeriana, Lachesis. They don't like stupidity because they believe that they are very smart. That's why they don't like and they don't appreciate the stupid people. But this is not the case. How does she express her anger in a psoric, Nat.m muriaticum way? Arguments, advices, being a little strict, being a little intense in order not to speak about her problems. Shout 1. I wouldn't even note it. I don't believe that she shouts 1. She doesn't shout. She may shout a little bit to her children, but then nothing more. At times with humor if it's not worth it. What does this mean? It complies with Nat.m muriaticum because she avoids contradictions. She avoids fights in this way. It's an indirect way to avoid contradiction. Because she is psoric and submissive. Can't stand insults. This is Nat.m muriaticum. She just can't stand insults because she starts weeping and she wants to weep alone. She doesn't want to show weakness and not to, she has a great aversion for pity and for consolation because she doesn't want to be exposed. She wants to be very decent. It's a psoric image. She wants to be very decent. She doesn't want others to know her deep felt matters. She doesn't want others to know that she suffers. It's a psoric egoism, not a syphilitic egoism. Not to show weakness, not to be pitied, will not revenge. And I believe she is telling the truth. She has bitterness inside, Nat.m muriaticum. She feels wounded. May raise in the sense that she doesn't want to have any company with the person that hurt her because she doesn't want to live the same thing again, to experience the same hurtful feelings again. She may talk to that person, but very typically, to avoid, but she doesn't have the syphilitic strength to say, get off my back, I hate you. She will be gentle and typical, but avoid contacts with the person that hurt her. She is responsible, tidy, compassionate, being psoric. Fear loneliness in the sense of wanting some company, but in a psoric way, one or two persons, very close ones. Although I enjoy being alone, she enjoys being alone because if you are a person that was hurt too much in her life, then you want calmness. You want not many things in order to minimize the possibility of being hurt again. That's why she says, although I enjoy being alone. She doesn't enjoy being alone in the sense of sulfur wants to be alone in order to philosophize. It's a different thing. Sulfur and Nat.m are both very introvert, both. But Nat.m doesn't talk about her problems because of wanting to be decent and not to be exposed and hurt, while Sulfur doesn't talk about his personal problem because he believes that even if I tell my problems, nothing will change. Nobody will find a solution for me. I have to find a solution. And because I'm a person that I philosophize a lot, I will find the solution. There is no reason why talking about it. You see the difference? Overprotective. She is not in a syphilitic way overprotective, that is domineering, manipulative, very tight to her children. Do this, do that, do my way, do it my way. She cares. She is psoric and giving, and she cares, she truly cares about her children. So she calls herself overprotective just for the reason because she is caring. But she will not insist on to her children, say, eat this, it's good for you. Please eat it. You should eat it. No. Shouldn't you? She will express herself in this way. Shouldn't you take a little care about your food? Leave me alone, mother. Okay. And she gets back. She retreats. The syphilitic person will start saying, you do it all the time, you don't eat well, you don't, so you will get sick, and then I will suffer because I will treat you and care about you. You don't think about your mother, you don't think about your children. If you get sick, you will leave your children alone. Blah, 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 blah. Loquacity. Domineering attitude. Exaggeration. Purposeful action and behavior. Syphilitic. Insecure. Yes, she is insecure. She's a psoric, insecure person. And finally, Natrum Muriaticum, romantic, lost, finds shelter in her romantic, psoric, ideal, beautiful world of novels and literature. This is Natrum Muriaticum. And if you have lived a life that is full of insults, full of emotional disappointments, and you have shrinked in the body and in the mind and in the soul, then you live less in this cruel world and more in the in your own romantic, unreal world. This is how we reach the final decision of, and we are pretty sure that it is a natrum muriaticum case. A natrum muriaticum case. So we prescribe natrum muriaticum 1m for the patient. She took natrum muriaticum, she was prescribed natrum muriaticum 1m, and she got very well, both physically, insomnia got better, hay fever got better, colitis got better, psychologically she was better, her general physical state was better. Let me tell you once more how did we reach this conclusion. The stages of the analysis of the classical miasmatic constitutional homeopathy. First of all, read the notes. Just one simple reading to get a general overview. Second, examine, observe the background. What kind of person, personal data, what kind of state is at the present. Third, see if I have, see the miasmatic profile of the patient and decide if I have to do with a dominant psoric person, dominantly psoric person, or psychotic or syphilitic. Then, taking in consideration the miasmatic profile of the patient, try to find the essence of the patient, his main general idea. And in this case, we talk about a psoric, introverted, easily offended, suffering person that tries to be very good, very giving person. Then try to see what are the possible constitutional pictures that match this person, and start differential diagnosis by excluding the less possible, and then proceed to differential diagnosis. And this differential diagnosis, we use each and every rubric individually in order to see to what constitutional picture they refer to mostly. And this differential diagnosis of the rubrics is not done only with one rubric. It has to do with the whole. And it is a miasmatic differential diagnosis because all the time we refer to the miasmatic profile. During the differential diagnosis, we don't refer mainly to the symptoms or to the physical characteristics. We mainly refer to the miasmatic profile and the psychological characteristics of the person. Finally, we prescribe the remedy that is most possible to be the similimum. We take in consideration the secondary possible constitutional pictures, and we exclude constitutional pictures that are not at all possible. And this is the end. That is how the classical miasmatic constitutional diagnosis works. Thank you.